This custom map remake of Military Base from BTD4 is what we're going to play on today. And upon stumbling on this map, I thought to myself, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea to pull out the heli pilot for the first time in a bit? Because as you see, this map just has a giant helipad in the middle. Kind of funny to think about, because in BTD4, the helipad didn't even exist. Before we start the run, I want to jump into a different sandbox just to show you something I didn't know about the heli pilot that was changed like a year ago. Basically, it involves patrol points. When you use this targeting, the heli pilot just bounces back and forth between each point. Pretty standard. Doesn't have any smart targeting, no matter where the balloons are. It'll just keep on doing that same pattern. However, if you buy Pursuit, this actually changes the way patrol points works. In update 41, a long time ago, they made it so that this targeting is now a Pursuit within the range of the patrol points. And if there's no balloons in range of set patrol points, as you see, it goes back to its normal targeting. But if there is a balloon in range, of course, it will no longer do the back and forth targeting. It will be just like how Pursuit is. So, yeah, I can't believe I didn't realize this a year ago. Probably because it sounds pretty useless. The best use case I could find, or at least somebody on Reddit found, was, say, maybe on a multi-lane map, like Spring, where you have one heli for each side that basically is like Pursuit. And so, as you see on round 49 here, it defends 49 pretty nicely, but if we just put them on Pursuit over the whole map, watch how dumb their targeting is. They just keep going up and down, that they fall behind to the rainbows that quickly, and they let cerams leak. But overall, pretty niche scenario. I do want to see if I can make it work in more than just that one scenario, though. So here's the challenge we're going to do for this military base chimps run. Basically, we're going to try doing all the damage with tier 3 heli pilots and below. So think of it as similar to those runs I did in the past, where, you know, I would spam a certain type of tower to beat chimps, but this time, it's the heli pilot. Anyway, we successfully saved up 1730 for the heli pilot right as around 15 hits, so that's great. And I think it only makes sense to start at least our first heli pilot smack dab in the middle. Indeed, we just slapped a helipad on top of a helipad. Have you ever seen that before? Probably not. So the only exception to the all damage being a heli pilot's rule is obviously the early game towers, so don't mind that. We just gotta get a sniper for the early game and a beast handler that I'll probably just buy my Raptor to move away later. First off, discount village, obviously. The true reason why you restricted all helis to tier 3 and below is, of course, is to make use of the discount. Okay, to be fair, the real reason is simply because for spam towers, spamming tier 4s is obviously not going... You're not going to be able to spam a lot of them, given the price of them. So my goal here is to see if I'm going to be able to build an army of heli pilots that are on various, I think, targeting options. We'll start off with Pursuit here. I don't think there's any reason right now to do, like, patrol points, with it being a single lane map and all. However, I do have an idea for certain tier 3s. I think this one, obviously, I'll just start off with the damage cross path in Razor Rotors. But first off, let me get Pat Fusty, the hero of choice, so that he gives plus damage to all helis in range. For now, I'm betting that a Razor Rotor should get us through the early game. And just testing if the ability reaches. It does, that's nice. Now, it's going to be an extremely tight fit here, but I want to see if I can fit 3 heli, like, kind of like a 3x3 pattern of helis. I think I already choked, though. One doesn't fit between the village and the bottom in here. Rip. Yeah, this map is impossible to fit it like that. Well, I tried, but yeah, ultimately, not really my fault. I think I will probably get the second one to be maybe a downdraft. Now, there's just one slight issue with utilizing patrol with this. It's usually the better crosspath to go for an 032 because it downdrafts more. But for science reasons, let's just do 230. I'm still going to leave this one in Pursuit. Let me just get my next heli pilot. I'm putting the ones with utility away from Pat so that, you know, the Razor Rotors can be around the Pat Fussy damage buff. This one will now be bottom crosspath, and we'll do 203. And here's where I think I'll try to utilize patrol points. Basically, I'm going to set it here and here so that it only pursuits in the entrance of the track. Reason being, maybe, if there's multiple Moabs, the mob shove doesn't just keep moving with the mob throughout the path while leaving all the other incoming Moabs like full speed. Basically, if a mob ever gets past here, we just let it go through, let the Razor Rotors finish it off, while the shove deals with the other balloons. That's the best thought for patrol points I can give. I don't think I want to get more than one shove, though, because ultimately, one shove is going to do nothing against, say, something like 98 with a billion mobs on screen. I think we're better off just boosting the damage of everything. So, on top of spamming the towers, I think I will allow myself to give some buffs on them. Maybe not too many of them. I'm thinking, obviously, a minimum, probably outbuff if I can fit space where I can't put a village, like, say, down here or up here. For damage reasons, I also want to get the 302 crosspath on all the other heli pilots, so we're going to get a D camo. Stick at the front. Should catch all DDTs at 023. And so far, so good, I would say. We're only just getting started in our heli army. Now, currently, all of the Razor Rotors helis are on pursuit, but I think I do want to try a couple of them on patrol points. Not necessarily because it's better, mostly to have some fun with it, and hell, maybe it is better in a certain situation. I'm not sure, but maybe I'll try one, say for now, kind of patrolling the entrance in a way. So now that it's fallen upon, or balloons are getting this far, the heli's just gonna stay here and deal with the other balloons. I feel like that might be more helpful for the late game rounds, because, you know, with Razor Rotors, Pursuit actually doesn't optimize its DPS fully, because the heli's got to be on top of the balloons to get the Razor to do damage. But if you have Pursuit, then it'll kind of always be tailing ahead of the balloons, you know what I mean? So say something like here, means at best the heli goes here, and so it still hovers over and utilizes the thing. If that makes any sense. Also, I'm realizing ahead of time that, also, why are camos leaking? I guess the mortar got pierce capped, but I should get a glue storm, because I can't buy a mid on these discounts. There ain't enough space for double discounts. So therefore, a glue storm with primary mentoring and 75% of the time, I will hope is good enough for that. Plus, they all do low base damage. Like, the darts are 1, Razor Rotors 2, so this doubles, triples the damage. Talk about a steal. That is a very expensive support, though, which now limits the amount of extra razors I can buy, so hopefully that's all I'm gonna need. Sometimes with spam challenges, I'm not necessarily sure whether I should aim for getting the most amount of a thing possible, or maybe just getting several of them, and then giga buffing them. I want to ask you guys what you would prefer, I guess. Because if we're talking about, like, guaranteeing a victory, or making sure nothing gets past the entrance, then the answer would be the latter. Get as much support as possible, but it's not as fun, obviously, if you don't amass a giant army of them. And so I'm gonna do the former and set spam as much as I can. Plus, this map allows me to get a lot of helis. So after I'm done with this village here, I'll probably build another army. It looks like the bottom right corner has the most amount of space. You might think bottom left, but the lines here are blocked as well. But it does fit a good amount of heli pilots, so actually, you know, maybe I could. The fact that the helis slip in just perfectly there means I think I changed my mind. Before that, yep, I think we're done. Nope, I lied. We got one more in with 1 pixel to spare. Nice. Before we build our next army, one more Razor Rotor, sadly undiscounted, because I want it to be hat buffed. At this level, yeah, level 14, he now gives +3, so these 4 heli pilots will be Giga Chads, and the rest will basically be extras. Anyway, was I wrong in telling you that it would look like a giant dark cloud? Because if I had to explain this defense, that's what it would be right now. Giant dark cloud. In case you have not been counting, this is going to be heli pilot number 18. And so far, I still only have 1 tower on patrol points. We'll make that 2 so that other heli doesn't feel super alone. I think I will be in a giant cloud formation up until, I guess, Bloons get to the middle path. Then you'll see the helis stay behind a couple of them. Yeah, see, they're back on, or rather, patrol points because there's no balloons in range. That actually makes things a lot worse. At least just that time, because I was saying it might be okay to put it if there were still balloons up here, but when there's none, then yeah, it's obviously pretty much worthless if you have them just patrolling like that. For now, though, we need not worry. Another glue storm to hopefully clear out 98 efficiently. But damn, you see what I was talking about? Look at all that. Look at how the ZMGs are up here. They have no damage done to them because all the razors that are probably amassing to, I don't know, 100 DPS if a balloon's like right underneath it. Like, it's just not going on the ZMGs, and they would pop a lot earlier, I feel like. I might strongly consider putting this entire army back on follow mouse, just so you can see the difference between, like, if somebody does proper micro. That's what I'm saying. I'll use a level 3 pad here. Let's use a... No, I was gonna big suck, but it got down to BFBs and CMGs. Yeah, we only just barely defended 94. Huge yikes. 95 here. I gotta make sure Glue Storm lasts for the whole duration, so I'm gonna use one pretty late, and it should last up till all 30 come out. Pat Fusty now too. Fast forward, and clean. Okay, and honestly, clean is probably not the right term to describe this defense right now. It's anything but it is at least somewhat satisfying. 96, we're gonna run into the same problem, I feel like. Look how far back those ZMGs are. Yeah, I'm done with the patrol points on the Razor Rotors, honestly. I think it's best kept for the Mob Shove. Although now that there's no balloons for the Mob Shove in range here, I will put it back on, I think, Follow Mouse. 96 is clean. I want to try to see... I think I'm going to put everything back on, what do you call it? Follow Mouse for 98. Just so I can show you guys my micro versus the AI. Let me show you what I could do, alright? So coming to 98, sadly I don't have my Glue Storm up immediately. That's unlucky, but what I think is best is honestly keep them right over here, okay? Let the Razor Rotors do insane work. And even if balloons leak, that's okay, because we have Glue Storm that keeps the cerams really, really slowly. Although, if they are Moabs getting through, I will have to move the army down a little bit. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's time to move down. I'll use the Pat Fusty now. No Glue Storm active here, so all the cerams are full speed, so I might have to move the army back. Until it's back up again. Come on, 2 more seconds. And then we get a huge damage boost. Nice. But do you see this? Look at the ZMGs. They're damaged. If they were all in pursuit right now, I promise you, we would be far from killing them. Now, in hindsight, maybe I should have first started with all of them in pursuit just so I could show you that it would die, because I promise it would have died. I think I still might die with my micro, because this is too much for the Heli army, and we don't have Glue Storm anymore. Are we cooked? We have the Glue Storm attacking luckily, not sadly. So I can slow down cerams. We got another Glue Storm up again. Come on. Nah. It ain't happening. At this point, I can no longer see if a mob is exiting. I just kind of have to hope. But with them being BFB still, no shot, right? Close, though. Well, I guess we gotta spend our money, and I can't believe I didn't buy jungle drums on this village here. That probably helps a huge amount. Now, hopefully that one random green heli in the giant storm cloud doesn't bother you. I'll upgrade it to Razor Rotors when I have the time. But things should be a bit easier now, with approximately 10% more damage on the field. Are things looking any better this time, or what? I think we can only really tell at the end of all of this. Still feels like too much. GG. GG. We do have all the damage. Nope. Jungle drums didn't save us there. Sadly, looks like we do need more supports. I don't know how much better it's going to be, but we can afford at least one Alk buff for approximately 3 heli pilots. Maybe the middle round. I can buy another one over here. Okay, so I'm going to save my Rallying Roar because I can only use one more for the rest of the run here, so save it for the moment where we're going to die. Like, see, we're lacking Glue Storm, so use it now. Glue Storm is going to be up again right about now, so let's go. Most DPS we're going to get right now. And it does really look like the Alk buff is helping. There is much less getting to this point this time. And that's the last ZMG. Alk buff diff right there, wow. Last BFBs and last Moabs was good, but the fact that it helped when we only had 3 of our helis getting damage as opposed to like, I don't know, out of like 20 plus. Yeah, also, holy crap. Horrible timing. We might be cooked because I don't have Glue Storm. It's legit 2 seconds from being up. So guess what I gotta do? I think I gotta go back in time instead of getting Alk buff, Bloons Sabotage. If I can even afford it, that is. I gotta say, how unlucky is that? We can barely afford it. Let's hope we can survive still. Holy crap, my life flashed before my eyes. And that was not as clean as the first victory, but it worked, so nice. Even though our Sabo or our Glue Storm is the same cooldown, Sabo's huge. Humongous. Now, we just press 3, and with the giant cloud of Helis, rip them to shreds. Haha, get it? Because they're rotors. Anyway, how long will it take for this giant dark cloud to beat the BAD? Not too long, because their single target's insane. And just like that, we done did it. Army of Razor Rotors, and the help of a couple other Heli crosspads. Now, this is just for fun, but what if we went a little deeper and further? The run will end once the next time we die. So I reckon it'll probably be this round, because we don't have Glue Storm and or Sabo. DT line is just way too long on 102, yeah. The one issue. And a good reason why nobody ever goes to Razor Rotors and or uses patrol points. That is all for today. Click here if you want to watch more, and subscribe for more.